Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the DFS experience. This is going to be our NFL video for week 2. There's been like 5,234 videos today for NFL week 2. So I'm not going to sit here with some long ass video because I'm sure you guys seen a lot of them today. This is basically going to be my player pool and the players that I like, and it should be a very short, quick video. We'll start with quarterback. Kyler Murray. He's not really popping to me. Like, he's not really standing out to me right now. I'm not feeling him right now. He's a good play. Has a lot of upside, as you know. What did he do? What did he do this weekend? Two touchdowns. He had 5 rushing attempts, 1 fumble, 22 completions, 34 attempts. That's not bad. That's all right. You know what I'm saying? I'd like Lamar Jackson if he threw more. Wouldn't we all? 30 attempts, 17 completions, 213 yards. Like, that's not going to get it done. 3 touchdowns, it's fine. 6 running attempts. That's another thing. 17 yards running. You know. Russell Wilson. Now, obviously, we know what just happened on Monday. He's definitely in the doghouse with us, fantasy players. I'm sure he's going to be low on, so he'll probably be a good play, coming off of a subpar performance. Even though he had 340 yards, like, they should have won that game. 42 attempts is good. 29 completions is very good. 340 yards is excellent. 1 touchdown is not. And he's not going to run. You know what I'm saying? So, he has to be throwing and he has to be getting touchdowns for him to pay off his salary, obviously. Joe Burrow. I played some Joe Burrow Sunday. Don't regret it. I like Joe Burrow. I'm always going to pair him with Jamar Chase. 53 attempts. That's what I'm talking about. 33 completions, 338 yards, 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. That's fine. He's not going to have 4 interceptions every game. 4 interceptions, 2 fumbles, $6,400. I might go right back to him. Listen, you know what? Maybe the ownership will be down, but I like Joe Burrow and Chase. That's going to be my go-to. It used to be Herbert and Keenan Allen on the late slate, and it's going to be Burrow and Chase on the early slate. And that's that. Tom Brady wasn't looking Tom Brady-ish to me. Maybe it's me. 27 attempts, 212 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 in. That's not going to get anything done. But he wasn't really looking Tom Brady-ish to me. So take that for what it is. Stafford, is he hurt? What's happening, my guy? 41 attempts, 29 completions, 240 yards. 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. Like I said, these quarterbacks not have some bad games. They're not going to have consecutive bad games. So hopefully it lowers the ownership. Stafford is popping for me on my projections. Might play a share of him or 2. Definitely playing Joe Burrow. I might take a shot on Russell Wilson. Pair him with his pass catchers. Derek Carr. You already know what you're going to do with Derek Carr. Derek Carr, 37 attempts, 22 completions, 295 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. It's all about the tag team. Who are you pairing these guys with? Carson Wentz is in play. Pair him with 1 or 2 of his pass catchers. He had an amazing game. 41 attempts, 27 completions, 313 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And you got to understand, it was the first week, so a lot of these quarterbacks have their timing off in the real game. That's why there's so many interceptions. That should calm down next few weeks. Matt Ryan, you want to pair him with if you want to pair him with Pittman, Couldn't think of his name. You want to pair him with Pittman, that's fine. Winston, you want to pair him with Thomas. You know, I don't think I'm going under Winston, to be honest with you. I think that's where I plant my flag. But you know, the quarterback is not really the end all be all for me. I kind of work backwards. I start with the quarterback. I start with a wide receiver. I just wanted to go through the player pool of the quarterbacks I was interested in. But I'm gonna start with my wide receiver and work my way backwards. That's what I'm gonna do. Because there's no quarterback there that's like extraordinary. That's gonna blow the hat off my head. You know what I'm saying? They're all pretty much pedestrian. The wide receiver is where you get spectacular at. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting my lineup with one of these top three guys: Cup, Adams, and Chase. It's always been Chase for me. I'm loyal. I think I'll stick with Chase. If I'm doing 3, 4, 5 lineups, then I'll have one of Chase, one of Adams, one of Cup with their quarterback and try to jam in another one if I could. If not, Samuel was in play. Tyreek Hill's in play. Mike Evans looks good if there's no Godwin. Pittman looks amazing. St. Brown looks great. Waddle looks good. See, I'm putting all my stock in the wide receivers. The quarterback, I'm not gonna lose my mind over the quarterback, but the wide receivers where I'm really gonna focus. Wide receiver and running back. If there's no Godwin, Evans is gonna be very popular. I'll be fine with it. Sutton. I think Jerry Judy's 5,600. He's too cheap. Christian Kirk. There's a lot of plays here. Let's get the ball rolling though. We don't got all day. Devontae. It's hard for me to not play Devontae Adams. Cooper Kupp against Atlanta. What is he? Jesus Christ. He's gonna destroy Atlanta. He's 99. He's $9,900. Cooper Kupp. The Rams after a loss. Let's do it. My gut is just telling me they're gonna explode. So let's do Kupp. Let's do Stafford at 6,300. At least we get a couple dollars saved there. And he is my highest projected quarterback, so that actually works out for me. Let me just check something out. So that's my highest projected quarterback. My highest projected wide receiver by a lot is Cooper Kupp. So that works out for me also. But now we got to start getting into some savings. And that means we cannot ram McCaffrey in this lineup, even though he ain't do much week 1. So we're gonna go. Let's go to running back. Okay. Let's just start from the top. Taylor's a great play. We know that. McCaffrey, great play. Kamara might be a little bit banged up. Something about his ribs. I'm not playing a banged up Kamara when I have all these wonderful people to choose from. So I'm passing on Kamara. Barkley's in play. He was in my main lineups. Mix is in play. Chubb's in play. DeAndre Swift was in my main lineup, and my dumbass took him out. Wow. DeAndre Swift against Washington is something that I'm gonna make happen. I'm definitely playing him. James Conner's in play. Fournette's in play also. Tampa Bay looking a little bit shaky. One thing you do know is that you can rely on Fournette. Fournette's in play for me. Javonte's in play, but always remember that he's running like a split. He's running a split with Melvin Gordon. You know what I'm saying? So Najee Harris is banged up. I'm good. Antonio Gibson, another guy that was playing very well. 14 attempts, 7 receptions, 72 yards, receiving, 20 fantasy points. So 58 on the ground, 72 in the air, 20 fantasy points. That's with no touchdowns. So what does that tell you? So I like Antonio Gibson. Ezekiel Elliott has been looking washed for a while, and I think it's safe to say that he's finished. 10 attempts, 52 yards, 2 targets, -3 yards. I think he's washed. I think he's been washed, but, you know, who am I? Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs, 5,800, 10 attempts, 1 target, 1 reception, 8 fantasy points. I expected more out of him, to be honest with you. Let's just see something real quick. Las Vegas. Bolden. Okay, well, if Las Vegas is not going to be running the ball, then you can't play Josh Jacobs. That's that. So, no Josh Jacobs for us. And I think I'll cut off. I think my cutoff is going to be maybe Rashard Penny. I'm not playing no backup quarterback. I mean, no backup running back. Maybe Rashard Penny is my last receiver in. I mean, running back in. But, you know, I'm keeping it tight. Keeping my player pool tight. DeAndre, Saquon Barkley, Carolina. You know what? Let's just ride Barkley till he gets hurt again. So we're doing Barkley, 7,300. Let's get a tight end. Andrews is in play. I can never get Andrews right either. 7 targets, 5 receptions, 10 fantasy points. The problem with that is that you can get that from a cheaper tight end. Hawkinson, Schultz. I don't know what Schultz is going to do with Cooper Rush throwing to him. So I'm kind of scared of that. Higbee might make sense since I already have Stafford. 11 targets, 5 receptions. Some of these targets are going to go down because they got to throw to Allen Robinson. They got to get Allen Robinson involved, but 11 targets, 5 receptions. All I need is a touchdown out of him, and I'm fine. Tyler Higbee, 4,200. Let's do it. So we're going to go Stafford, Cooper Kupp, Higbee, Saquon Barkley. Kittle's in play if he's healthy. Waller, Pitt, Schultz is in play. Hawkinson, Ertz, Freiermuth. 10 targets, 5 receptions. I like 10 targets. He's in play. When you're looking at your tight end, look at the targets. That's how you know if they're worth it or not. Trezecki, 1 target. See? That's why you have 1 fantasy points. Big O, A.O., Albert O. He's in play. 6 targets, but he caught 5 of them, so be careful with that. But he's still in play at his price, 3,700. Evan Ingram, 4 receptions. He caught all 4. He's still in play. Conklin had a good fantasy performance. 7 targets, 4 receptions and a touchdown, and a fumble. So if what's his name in the Jets? Flacco. If Flacco's comfortable with him, I guess he's in play. You got Lane Thomas. Lane Thomas is always in play. 6 targets, 3 receptions, 7 fantasy points. I expect more out of him. And I think see something. OJ Howard probably had. Let's see what he had. 2 touchdowns, 2 targets, 2 touchdowns. That's not gonna happen again. But he's dirt cheap. But that's not gonna happen again. Will Disley. No, Smith leads him 3 targets, 3 receptions, 1 touchdown. And that's not gonna happen again. So just be careful when looking at these fantasy points. Make sure you check their targets. You want to play a tight end that's getting multiple targets. Not a freak. Not a freak 1 catch, 1 touchdown game where their fantasy points make you feel like they're going to do more because you're going to be hurt when week 2 comes and they catch 2 passes for 5 yards with no touchdowns and you're sitting there holding a big flaming L. You know what I'm saying? So for your tight ends, just check their targets, and that's going to tell you all you need to know. If they're being targeted, you're good. If they're not being targeted, be careful. If they had a touchdown or 2 from a few targets, that's not a good sign because they're not going to replicate that the next week. Defense. I think the big hoopla this week is, is it the Bengals? The Bengals against Dallas. So you got the Bengals playing against Dallas with their 2nd string quarterback. And I see people making fun of people recommending the Bengals because they're going to be popular. Well, if you're going to pay close to minimum for a defense that should score points, ain't that the fucking point? You could get different elsewhere. That's why I hate Twitter. Everybody on Twitter knows everything. Who gives a fuck if your defense is popular? You know what I'm saying? You're spending $2,200 for a defense that's going to give you points. You have all these other spots to get different at. You don't have to be cute and change the defense because they're popular. If the Bengals go and get 2-3 interceptions, a pick 6, and give you 20-25 fantasy points from the defense, and you sit here and try to be cute and play, the Texans, and Denver, drops points on their heads, and they don't score a lot of fantasy points. Who's going to be the idiot? The one that faded the Bengals or the one that played the Bengals? I'm playing the Bengals because they make sense and they're cheap. And they're going to help me be able to finish off my lineup the way I want to finish it off. You know what I'm saying? So, for DraftKings, I think that this is a good start for my main lineup. Like I said, the quarterback isn't really a big deal to me. I'm trying to pair him with the wide receiver that I'm concerned with, and I want to get the running back that I want. So, this is one of my lineups. How I'm going to start it off. Let's go to FanDuel. Once again, if you're new here, welcome. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell so you know when I drop these videos, and don't forget to thumbs up the video so we can get circulated and viewed, so we could grow this channel. And if you want my updated lineup sent to you, my full updated lineup sent to you on Sunday, then you can check out my Patreon, link in the description. I'll send you out an early lineup, a main lineup, an afternoon lineup, and then Sunday you'll get a Sunday night football lineup also. So if that's something you're interested in that will help you, you know what to do. Alright, well, as long as the prices aren't crazy, then we're going to continue. We're going to do what we did for DraftKings. So we're going to do a Cooper Kupp. We're going to start with our wide receiver. We're going to do a Cooper Kupp 9,700. I expect him to flambe Atlanta. So we're going Cooper Kupp. We're going to pair him with Stafford, who's 7,600, which I like. And people should be off of him. You know, he didn't play that well. He didn't have that many touchdowns, so people will be off of him, hopefully. Let's go to my tight end. Higbee, 5,300. Like I said, the only concern with Higbee is that Allen Robinson should be getting more targets. But I'm not going to let that sway me out of my tight end, because if he catches 2 touchdowns, now what? Or he gets a big, he gets a big catch and play, then what? I miss out. So I'm gonna stick with Higbee, even though there's a little bit of risk. Running back, probably go right back to Saquon. Saquon is 8,800, kind of pricey, kind of spicy. 200 away from McCaffrey. So now I might have to alter. My plans. But I do want to play DeAndre Swift. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna save $600 off of Saquon Barkley. I'm gonna go DeAndre Swift on FanDuel, because I do like that matchup. And what we have left? We have 1, 2. So let's do the defense. Probably going right back to the Bengals if they're dirt cheap. 3,900. So you see, they're not minimum on FanDuel. So you could get different here. As you know, we don't really pay attention. Nobody really pays attention to defense like that. Detroit, Arizona, Las Vegas, the Patriots, the Raiders. Look like we might end up on the Bengals anyway. Let's just start with the Bengals, 3,900. We have $6,325 left. Let's do this. As we fill in our lineups, if we need more money, we'll just drop down from the Bengals. But for right now, we'll leave them in. We'll leave the Bengals in. And we know that there's a lot of value that's going to be coming out of week 2 from what we saw from week 1. So week 1 was absolutely the filling out stage. Week 2, we have all the information that we need to know who's who and who's going to be doing what. So there should be enough value to fill in the lineups if we need it. But there's a lot of mid-tier plays that are excellent plays. You know what I'm saying? So, these NFL lineups are fun to build, and this is just to start you guys off. But I think that's it. If you guys have any questions, you can throw it in the comments. We have all week. There should probably be one more video out for week 2. There's somebody else you like as far as quarterback, wide receiver pairing, you can throw it in the comments. And I think that's that. Listen, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Ciao.